Okay, so taking it right where you are, bringing the morning, bringing this day into action. So the title of this, or kind of, I should say the subject matter of this, is going to be dynamic energy. Dynamic yoga energy. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So taking it from a place, from where we are, where we have, from a state of mere nothingness, of where we're total empty and void of everything and every thought, thereby establishing clarity of mind and focus, in spite of whatever's going on around. Full circle. So I decided to bring this out into the woods again, and I think it has, there's a lot of essence to that, you know, being in, whether it be the ocean, whether it be the woods, whether it be, you know, in the middle of, you know, even a downtown setting to wherever you got total chaos around you. But the idea and the goal of yoga is to, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, is to get into that space and get into the moment and adapt, adjust, accommodate to it. So let's get right into this. And for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Michael Jeff, and the channel is the Yoga Lounge, and we're going to start right into it so we can get through this whole thing in an adequate amount of time. So let's begin. So the first of all, so the way we're going to do it today, we're going to just take it from, and the way I like to teach is to go totally on improv. Keep everything flowing, keep it in the moment. It doesn't have to be just right, but it has to be what was right for that moment. So we look at it, you should look at it, whatever you did, don't be harsh on yourself, don't judge yourself, it was the right thing to do. Don't ever second guess it, let it go, move on to the next thing. And this is what the development of yoga and the practice does. It enhances that clarity of thought. So let's turn around, we'll go on to the left side first. Now let's bring the hands into right underneath the chin like this. So we're going to lift our chin up. And you can see me, I'll turn back around. So when we're doing this, we're giving a slight lift in the lower back. So this is straightening us up out. You might want to come into prayer position here, and this is also stretching your neck out. So tilt the head back slightly to stretch the neck. And I'm getting just a little bit of sun that's coming in through the pine tree here that's emanating and helping me through this, giving me a little bit of an extra energy boost. So bring the chin on down toward your clavicle. Arms are alongside the body, toward the collarbone. Keep breathing, breathe naturally, and let's come back up again, and we're going to go back down one more time. Exhale. And breathe. And breathe. Okay, focus on clearing the mind. Watch the thoughts come through. As they come on through and transmove or digress, or shall we say, evolve through the brain and the conscious, and then let them go. Take a full breath. Let's go into, now normally with this one we sit down in Sukhasana, but we're just going to stand up today because I like to do things a little different. We're going to do the full yogic breath, full yoga breath. So this is done by Breathing in through the diaphragm first, and we expand the diaphragm right here, as you can see where my hands are. And then we bring the breath all the way up and engulf the whole upper part above the solar plexus through the chest. And so we lift the breath down from the lowest part of the belly through the diaphragm, through the solar plexus, and on up. So here we go. Inhale. Expanding. You can put your hands on your belly right above where your diaphragm, and just feel it expanding as if you were lifting a book and the book was raising up. And we kind of suck that in, and then we open it up and we lift the breath up into the solar plexus and on up through. So however you do it, don't really try to. I mean, that's the idea. So you may not get the total definition of all of that, but so we take the deep breath and then we try to bring the breath on up. So again, deep breath. And by doing this, it activates the chakras, it opens up things, and it gets the circulation, the breath makes the body much more resilient and healthy. These deep yogic breaths. So let's come back to normal breathing here. So let's just loosen up the legs a little bit, and let's go into the first pose. Let's go into a mountain pose. So let's go into tall mountain, lifting the arms straight up. This is tall mountain. So again, sucking in the navel a little bit if you can, keeping the breathing normal and active. Noticing that both feet are grounding your feet, so you're feeling the energy coming up from the ground. Notice this in your feet. So feeling that energy moving into the feet. Bring the hands down into prayer. Take another breath, lift the hands on up again. So again, raising the energy up into the shoulders and the arms. Okay, so take a wider stance and let's come on down. Putting the hands on the hips and straightening through the back. So we're at a 90-degree angle. We can feel the stretch beginning in our hamstrings a little bit and moving on down to the legs. So we're just going to stop here for now. Coming about halfway down, you notice that the back is straight in back. So keep a straight back here, and this is good for the spine, for the back. And let's come back on up, and let's stretch over to the right side into half moon, or you could say Ardha Chandrasana, or half moon stretch, and coming over to, it's kind of like upward facing salute. All right, so going over to the opposite side, to the left side, so, or whichever side it's on, doesn't matter. So you're stretching the sides, coming back to center, hands down like this. Bringing the hands back by the side. Okay, let's go into Trikonasana, the triangle. So there's a method to this madness. You notice that I do things and I start the things usually the same way in every single class I do. It kind of keeps the, it gets you into a routine. It gets a mode of an addendum to the day. It kind of strikes a pattern into your force, into your energy movements throughout the day. So when you do things this way, but keep in mind to always break things up, and occasionally we do things differently. We go off the beaten path in another book, and so we do things that way too. But it's always good to have a set regimen so you kind of know where you're going with it, even though you do it in a different way. So let's bring the hand on down into triangle, looking down, or excuse me, looking up at the, I believe whichever hand it is, probably your left hand according to this angle. Look up and breathe. Keep the breath active. We're going to go, as we did last week, we're going to go a little harder. So if you feel you can't do it, then you may want to stay out of some of the poses or just watch. No rush to get to the top of Mount Everest. Always go within your spec, within your means of what you can do. Let's go into Purna Trikonasana. Keep the breath going. That back foot is pointed in about 30 degrees. Arm is parallel to the ground. And let's inhale on the power of the breath, exhale and release. Let's go over the other side, do the same thing. Watching that the mind is clearer. If thought comes in, let the thought go. Arms out, airplane fashion. Here we go. All right. Now, stretch over first. Drop the hand on the leg. Keep the chest open, lifting up, looking up toward your right hand. Bringing the hand all the way down toward the foot, as far as you can go, without straining the back. So if you have to come up a little bit, then always come up. Modify it according to your what you're able to do. Couple more deep breaths. Keep breathing through. Breathe the strength into the leg, lifting it up through the hand. So notice that you're breathing up from the foot into the hand, energizing, transferring the energy all the way up into the top of the fingertips. On the power of the breath, come into Purna Trikonasana, deepening the triangle a little bit more. Couple breaths here, and we're going to transition here into the revolving triangle. So we're going to put the right hand, whichever hand it is, on the opposite side of the leg. And we're going to look up toward the hand. Both legs are straight. Back leg is about 45 degrees into Pavarita Trikonasana. So this is good for the balance here, and it's, you're gaining a little bit more strength. You're building strength and endurance, and you're getting the dynaflow here into this. All right, so let's come up on the power of the breath. All the way up. Let's go into, because we didn't do it on the other side, let's do it on that side. Revolving triangle. Okay, so it's kind of like a spiral movement. Bring the hand on the opposite side of the right leg, I believe it would be. And look up to the hand, keeping both legs straight as you can. If you need to come out or you can't do it, please come out. Look up to the hand. Couple breaths. Push yourself if you can. If you can't, then come out of the pose. Up on the power of the breath. And let's take a few moments. So the idea is to push yourself if you're able to. Don't push yourself if you can't. Stay where you are, and that's why I do a lot of my classes, and I try to do most of them in a simpler fashion so that it accommodates all abilities, so that people always know they can push themselves a little harder if they want to. Okay, so let's go into Parsvakonasana, the extended side angle. And we're just going to go right into, if you need to modify it then today, then do it like this. We're going to go into full side angle stretch. Knee directly over the foot, back foot in about 30 degrees. If you need to modify that in back, maybe 45. And we're going to put the hand, the right hand behind the foot, and lift the arm up over the head like this. My form may not be perfect here. I don't have exact flat proportioning in a yoga mat, and so ground is a little unstable, but kind of the way I like to do it. So let's go into If you want to do this, revolving. Pavarita, Parsvakonasana, look up at the hand on the opposite side. A couple more breaths. And come up on the power of the breath. All right. Let's go into that same thing on the other side. Let's take a couple breaths first. Breathe. Lift. And taking the energy in from the pine tree, right over, you may not be able to see that tree. Got a lot of pine cones above there. And really nice. It's a lot of positive energy or negative ions. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Left knee 90 degrees, back foot 30 degrees in, leg straight. Coming into full Parsvakonasana, hand behind the foot, arm up over the ear, looking up toward the armpit, and breathe. Keep the breath going, keep it active. Don't think of yesterday and don't dwell on negativity today. If there is any, hopefully it's positive. Don't dwell on that. Dwell on the moment where you are. Hand behind the foot on the opposite side of the foot, of your left foot. Lift the arm up and back on the other side, on the transverse side of your body, looking up toward the hand, keeping that back leg firm and straight. Keep the breath going. Come out, if you're too tired, come out of the pose, take a break. Breathe through the posture, let it go. Keep the energy moving throughout. You can feel this in the lower legs. Come up on the power of the breath. Take a deep breath, let it go. Exhale. Okay, we're going to go right into Parsvakonasana, pyramid pose. Stretching around, so revolve around, and we notice we kind of vinyasa a lot. Not going into a real fast vinyasa, but always keep that flow. That's what we do in yoga. We turn from one side to the other, balancing out the Ida and Pingala. So you may want to come down like this today, back foot pointed in about 45 degrees. Bring the chest on down toward the thigh, or you may want to come down like this. So we're going to take a couple more breaths, reorchestrating yourself, acclimating into the stretch, into this moment of this asana. Lift up, inhale, okay, inhale, lift, and exhale. Stretching on down toward, and hands on down toward, if you can go all the way down. I'm going to, just for the sake of it, I'm going to go all the way down. Bringing the hands, palms, all the way to the pine needles. Stretching my chest on toward the thigh. Some of you may just be right here. And that's okay. You don't want to push it beyond what you're capable of doing. Couple more breaths, usually about 5 breaths. Sometimes we're going a little bit harder today, staying a little bit longer, a little bit more aggressive. Well, let's come into down dog from there. We're going to do a couple movements here, a couple of variations. If you're tired, come up. Come into upward facing dog. Urdhva, Akamuska Svabhasana, and downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Right leg up. Keep that leg up. Let's go. Lift it up. Up, up, up. Strength. Dynamic energy. Down. Opposite leg up. Keep the back foot nice and firm. Lift that leg as high as you can get it. and down. Let's swing the foot through. Let's come up into Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 2. Relax the shoulders, look out, like shoot the bow and arrow like a warrior here. Relax the shoulder and back. Keep that knee right over the foot, looking out toward the hand. A lot of energy, so energize those arms. Both arms are pulling away from each other. You're looking relaxed out toward the hand. Okay, come back up on the other side. Let's go into down dog again. Try to get the heels in back. Look back at your toes. Swivel through on into upward dog. This is really good for the back. Really strengthens the back, but don't do it if you can't do it. You might strain too much. So remember, know thyself. Adjust, adapt, adjust, and accommodate. Right leg up. Breathe. Strength. A lot of strength. Get that strength going. Move it. Bring it into the body. Let's go. Other leg. High as you can get it. If you're tired, come up. Down. Warrior on the other side, or whichever side you didn't do. Once again, warrior 1. Knee over the foot. Back foot in about 45 degrees. Arms alongside the ears. Engage the breath. Warrior 2. Drop the shoulders. Shoulders are in alignment with the hips. Back leg is very firm. Foot is attached. Plant it on the mat or whatever you're standing very firmly. And relax, come up on the energy of the breath. And let's take a few moments to relax. If you need to sit down, then go ahead and sit down and relax. I'm going to stand up for a bit. So now, let's go through, and I talked about this before, the mental checkpoints. What are you feeling that's different than when you were feeling when you first started? Are you feeling stronger? Are you feeling more energy enhanced? Are you feeling clearer? Are you a little bit winded? Or are you a little bit tired? So notice all these things and keep that as suggestible recollections for future events on what you can, or what you, the brain can perceive as needing to do. So for future recollections of thought, diving into the past, bringing that back up and checking it off, and that way we have that that perception when we're doing our exercise, whatever exercise it is, even if it's heavy weight training, if it's swimming, if it's snowboarding or surfing, you always you get into that mode and you go through these mental shifts, perceiving, receiving, and then doing according to what mind is able to do and then mind perceives. Roll the shoulders back a little bit, hands behind let's clasp the hands like this. So this stretches out and improves our posture. Hands are up and back and release. Bring the hands like a cross, like this. Hands up into prayer. Let's go into a balancing pose. So lift one leg up off the ground. If you want to come into tree like this, you can do that. Focus on a point in front of you. Clear focus. And release. Let's do the other side. Clear the mind, empty the thought. In present. Lift leg up in front like this. If you lose your balance, then come down. Don't try to push yourself too hard where you totally lose your balance. All right, so if you need to come up into tree like this, if you want to come up into tree, and come down. All right, release. Exhale. Okay, so the next pose we're going to do, I think we're going to do, we're going to go into prasarita padottanasana today, and I think today I'm going to demonstrate the full warrior 3. Not going to do it yet. Going to harbor a little bit more strength before we go into that. So let's just turn around to the side, or I'm going to turn around. You can stay where you are. I'm going to demonstrate first. Put the hands up like this and back, over your hands together, feet wide apart. Some of you might be able to come all the way down farther. Okay, so let's go into it. So we take a breath. And exhale as we come on down. Exhale down, lifting the hands up. Nice wide stance into prasarita padottanasana. Okay, just for the heck of it, let's put the hands behind the feet, deepening the stretch. Some of you might be able to come down, push it a little farther. Others may be coming up right now if you're new to yoga. Otherwise, try to stay with me if you can. All the way down as far as you can go. You may just come to here. Don't overdo it. Some of you advanced people can look all the way through the legs. Now you might want to put your hands down to give you more support. Noticing that the back is staying very straight. Okay, let's come up. Lifting up. Going. Up as high as you can go. A nice straight back. And exhale. All right. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more poses and then we're going to close out for today. And I do it differently every time. Never know quite what I'm going to do. Today I'm just kind of going with it. Okay, so let's go into I'm going to do Vasisthasana. So we're going to come down and let's go into down dog. But before we do, so let's just come on down to the ground. Okay, let me see if I can get these pine cones out of the way. And let's move into it. Hands on the knees. Breathe. Nice energy going on. Let's breathe a couple more breaths. Okay, so we're going to come up into down dog. And we're going to go over to the side angle plank like this, lifting the arm way up, and one foot is kind of crossed over the other one a little bit. We're going to do it this way. And this is Vasisthasana. You can, maybe some of you might be able to come out here like this. A lot of power here. Okay, let's go over to, let's come down first. Let's transition this way. And let's come into down dog first. Let's transition on over into side angle. Keep the breath strong and active. Nice strong breathing here. Lift the arm up, over like that, extending the arm out. Up, and let's come back into plank, come out of it that way. Up into down dog. Bending at the knees, coming into a squat. This rests the back a little bit, coming into it like this and getting up rather than just jumping and jerking up. All right, so let's come up. And so the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate the Warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3, it's the third movement. So the first movement, usually in the sequence, it would be like this, this, and then up into Warrior 3. So, okay, we're going to use a lot of strength here to get into this. Regather your energy. Don't waste time on negative thinking here. Open the mind, clear the shaft above you, clear the horizon, open everything up, bring it into your body. Just the good energy, not the bad energy. Knowing that you're going to take this throughout the day with you. And for those of you that can't do this or don't feel like doing it, then just take a break. Maybe just turn off the video. And so here we go. So it looks kind of like this. Kind of balancing on the front leg. Looking out toward the hand. And come out. Back into Warrior. And let's take a break. So once again, shifting everything over to the opposite side. Take a few moments. So when we do Warrior 3, we transition the energy and the strength and the focus and the breath from back to front. So we get the breath and everything is in, the enhancement is on the foot in front. That's where we try to gain our balance. And it takes a lot of strength to do this pose. So, you may not be able to do it the first time, and it may take you a while, even the second, maybe the third, and then you'll finally get it. But don't push yourself so that you lose your balance. And we're going to try it on the other side. So again, it's these movements, Warrior 1. Usually we do it this way, but today I'm just isolating the pose by itself. So this would be the transition, and then going into warrior 2, and then into the warrior 3. And come out. So we bend the knees here, releasing the back when we come out of the stretch. Okay. Now let's take a few closing breaths, and we're going to close out. So, for those of you that just tuned in a little bit later, maybe midway through, I'm Michael Jeff. This is the Yoga Lounge. And this is a more aggressive class a little bit today. And going to do a few of these kind of classes in the future, for the next week or two. And then we'll also go back to the basic classes, the traditional hatha flow. And so apply it to beginners and as well. And then I like to introduce new things as I go along. Bring new concepts in, new perceptions, and new poses. It kind of keeps things interesting, and I like to do that. So kind of never know what's on the next horizon for the next day. That's how I look at life that way. Like, gee, what am I going to do tomorrow? Where do I want to go? Maybe I'm going to go somewhere different. I don't know yet, but I'm going to figure it out when I wake up in the morning. So that's how I look at it. And so that may, help you if you look at things like that, instead of saying, the regimen, oh, I got to do this, I got to go there, I got to do this, I got to go meet that person. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. Instead of doing, do things that you want to do. Do things that you feel your spirit wants to do. Do things in the moment, in the present. Don't do things out of necessity or out of force. Yes, we need to do things out of being responsible and necessity, but don't live your life like that, like a robot. Be intrinsic, be authentic, be who you are. This is the most important. So let's take a few closing breaths. Hands into the chest. Lift the hands up, part the energy on the side. Notice the breathing. Notice the mind. Bring it back to center. Envision a smooth and perfect day. Hands. Once again, lift the hands, part the energy. Alrighty then. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.